team. I mean, he was throwing that rock all over the place. He was in shotgun. He was running. He was doing all these things. Today, I think it's going to get back to being Terrell Davis's team, and I think we're going to see the Denver Broncos really go in a big way for the run.
The Dallas Cowboys are Chan Gailey's team. He's, of course, the new head coach, and he's with Pam Oliver right now. Let's go down to Pam.
All right, thanks, Pat. And Chan, Leon Ledge, he's been a question mark. He came out, worked out for you earlier. What is his status?
He'll play. He's not going to start, but he will play, and we hope he'll get maybe a third of the snaps in today.
Noise is obviously a factor at this stadium. You worked on something this week. John has talked about the silent snap count. How exactly will that work?
Well, Troy will give a hand signal to Clay Shiver, and Clay will go on a preset determined snap count after his head comes up.
All right, thanks a lot, Chan. Appreciate it. Let's go back upstairs to Pat.
All right, Pam, thank you. Coming up, it's the Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos from Mile High Stadium. John and Pam and I will be back for the opening kickoff when Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages from your local station. Back at Mile High Stadium, the Cowboys won the toss. They'll receive. Jason Elam will kick off for Denver. Kevin Mathis and Jeff Ogden back deep for Dallas. Number 23 is the man they like to do the running.
Yeah, we talked earlier about the noise here. The other factor is the altitude.
Yep.
You know, they tell you Mile High Stadium. In a locker room, they had a sign that said 5,280 feet. They always remind you of that.
Maybe psychological, but they don't let you forget it. That's Mathis. Out of the pack is Kevin Mathis to the 35, and let's have a look at the Dallas offense. Led, as it has been in recent years, by number 8, Troy Aikman. 62.1 completion percentage. Larry Allen, Nate Newton, Clay Shivers, the center, Everett McIver, and Eric Williams to his right. Emmitt Smith, Darrell Johnston, Billy Davis, Michael Irvin, and LaFleur. Johnston in front of Emmitt Smith. Aikman outside Irvin. And Michael Irvin past the 40 to the 42. Let's look at the Denver defense. Not that big, but very quick. The 4 up front: Tanavasa, Price, Traylor, and Smith. The 3 linebackers: Mobley, Kadrez, and Romanowski. Darian Gordon, Ray Crockett, the corners, Steve Atwater, and the rookie Eric Brown, the 2 safeties. 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3. Flozell Adams comes in as a tight end.
The Broncos are really ganging up on their run. They have 9 men in the line of scrimmage.
Emmitt Smith hammers close to first down yardage to about the 45.
You know, that was one of the things Chan Gailey was talking about last night. Watch this. They only have here's a defensive back, here's a defensive back. So they have 9 guys right up here at or around the line of scrimmage to stop this guy, Emmitt Smith.
Ray Crockett is the Broncos down on his back. In his 10th season from Baylor, he lives in the Dallas area. And he was just dinged by Emmitt Smith. The Mile High City. That's Ray Crockett, who appeared to be hitting the ribs by Emmitt Smith. Here it comes right here.
Yeah, you can see Crockett right here. And watch as he hits Emmitt. It looks like the right side is where he took that blow.
1st and 10, 2 tight ends for Dallas. Aikman back to throw it. Trying to get a screen going, and nothing was there. Neil Smith read it perfectly, and Aikman did the right thing.
I'll tell you, had that been a pattern to Michael Irvin, Michael Irvin would have been wide open. You know, one of the things that Chan Gailey, or one of the guys that Chan Gailey was worried about in this Bronco defense is a free safety, Steve Atwater. You talk about the front 4 and you talk about the linebackers, but the guy he worries about is Atwater because he's right here. See how close he is to the line of scrimmage? He's a free safety, but you also have to get him blocked.
Here's a big guy, Aikman. Protection adequate. Michael Irvin, the intended receiver, looked as if the ball was there, but somebody might have got a hand in it.
Well, that was Darius Johnson. Darius Johnson is the guy that just came in from Ray Crockett. for Ray Crockett. And watch the play that he makes on Michael Irvin. Irvin is coming up here, and he's going to stop and run a hook. Darius Johnson gets back, and watch him just get that right hand in there and knock that ball out.
Crockett is back now.
Well, Darius Johnson did his job.
Yep, he sure did. 3rd and 10. Timeout Denver. So they'll have 2 left. Excuse me.
I was just going to say, Pat, Darius Johnson stays in because he's a backup corner, but he is also the nickel back, so he's in now in nickel.
0-0 first quarter. Denver timeout. The reason Denver took that timeout, they only had 10 men on defense.
See, and this is the thing we were talking about, Pat. This is the first shotgun here on the road for the Cowboys, and you're going to see their silent count in work here.
Broncos showing blitz. Did they take too much time?
And, you know, and that's the thing. That's what this crowd does to you.
Yep.
You know, they'll get you. It's not as tough on 1st and 2nd.
Ball start. 79 offense. A 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Eric Williams.
It's really tough on that offensive line generally, but specifically the tackles. And that time they got Eric Williams. Because of the silent count, these guys have to look in at the ball and see the ball snap. So anything that they see flash, you see Clay Shiver brought his head up. He saw a little defensive move, and Eric Williams moved too early.
3rd and 15. The Broncos again showing blitz as Bjornsson moves into the backfield. And Aikman has the ball batted backwards. The blitz did its work. Atwater.
You're going to see the pressure. Here's Atwater here, and he's just coming free to the side that Troy Aikman is trying to throw to. So Aikman looks at that side. Here comes number 27 free, and you can't throw it through him.
So Toby Goen will punt for the Cowboys. Darian Gordon back deep, and he is dangerous. Goen averaged over 49 yards a kick last week, and this is a pretty good one right here. Gordon at the 15, and that's where he's down at the 16. The coverage is good. So Denver and Elway will take over at their own 16-yard line. No score. McCormick instead of Leon Lett. And the Dallas defensive setup. Leon over on the sideline. He looked fairly loose and in good spirits in warm-up, but Hervin McCormick starts in his place. Elway. Davis. And let's have a look at the Denver offense. Smallish, as is the defense, but very quick. And John Elway, ageless. In front of him, Jones, Slareth, Nayland, Neal, and Harry Swain. Davis, Griffith, the 2 backs. Rod Smith and Ed McCaffrey. And Shannon Sharp, one of the better tight ends in football. 2nd and 6. Davis again. Couple yards short. Let's look at the Dallas defense. And it does appear that Denver says, hey, we couldn't run it last week. We're going to run it this week. Pittman, Hervin McCormick, Chad Hennings, and Greg Ellis, their #1 pick. Coakley, Strickland, and Godfrey, the 3 linebackers. In the secondary has Sanders and Kevin Smith. The corners, Stoutmeyer and Woodson. The 2 safeties, both good tacklers. 4 wide receivers for Denver. 3rd and 2.
See now how quiet it is when Denver's in the shotgun?
Yep. Davis. I beg your pardon, Rod Smith.
That's a combination there. John Elway to Rod Smith. Rod Smith was in the slot on the left-hand side, and he didn't get a bump. And you just watch him right here. He's in the slot, and he's just going to take off and come right into this area here. You see him standing up there. He makes a little move, doesn't get a bump. He's free right there. John Elway, because he's in the shotgun, has been in the shotgun all his life, can see the whole field, can see every move that's being made.
18-yard gain, 1st down. Denver. Elway again in the shotgun. 4 wide receiver. Dallas blitz is picked up by the Broncos and Elway, and he gets it to Shannon Sharp.
You know, talking to John Elway about the shotgun, the thing that he likes about it is you have so many good receivers like a Shannon Sharpe. But even if you get a blitz like this, you can see it coming and get the ball away before the guy gets here. Because that time when Randall Godfrey came, Pat, he wasn't even blocked, but he knew that Shannon Sharpe would be open quickly.
2nd and 3.
He's in a shotgun again.
Deep. No running back. Just Elway. Wide open is Shannon Sharpe. Brian Chamberlain, the backup tight end. Welcome to those of you watching Minnesota and St. Louis to Mile High Stadium in Denver. It is 0-0 with 10:25 left to play in the first quarter, but the Broncos are on the move.
You know, I felt last Monday night when the Broncos played against the New England Patriots that John Elway really put on a clinic. And so far in this game, he's just continuing that clinic from Monday night.
This time Davis is deep. And Elway gives it to Davis, who's hit right at the line of scrimmage.
It was a good job by Randall Godfrey. He's going to step up and take the lead block. Now watch him. You're going to get the lead block coming in here. Godfrey's going to step right up here and make the play. You see, he's going to stop the hole right there. He's going to stop it right there. Now there's no hole. There's no place. There's no place for Terrell Davis to cut.
Strickland jammed it from the inside, then Godfrey on the outside. Dallas nothing, Denver nothing. Elway drops. Has time, goes deep, has a man wide open. Is Sterling Shannon Sharpe.
Tell you, this guy is something bad. There's no one in the backfield. He had the whole field spread out. He's back there, and he hit Shannon Sharpe for a touchdown. That is perfect. Just watch it here. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No one back here other than John Elway in the shotgun. And look at how quickly he can get back. And right here he sees Shannon Sharpe running free right down the middle. No one bumped him. No one hit him. And John Elway threw a perfect pass. This guy's amazing. He's something.
He is. Woodson was the closest man to Shannon Sharpe, but he had no chance. No one bumped him.
I think John Elway can play until he's 48.
If he so chooses. Elam's extra point is good at 7-0 Denver. 7-0. The Broncos with 9:23 left in the first. Denver 7, Dallas nothing. Elam's kickoff. Sails deep to Kevin Mathis. Run it out of the end zone. To the 30.
Let's watch that touchdown again. You see how when you have 5 receivers, how you spread them out. Here's Shannon Sharpe. Now they're trying to play too deep here, but they got to get a bump, and you can't just let the guy run that post pattern. Let's just take a closer look at it. Here's Shannon Sharpe here. Now watch him on the post pattern. You see, coming off the line of scrimmage, he's not bumped, and he runs right by Darren Woodson there. Woodson has to have a little help by getting a bump up in front, and Elway again makes a perfect pass to Shannon Sharpe.
7 plays, 84 yards. 38-yard touchdown pass from Elway to Sharpe. Here's Aikman. Hit just as he let it go and through the hand. Right now for an NFL update, let's return to James Brown at the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles.
Pat and John, you saw the score, that wild seesaw affair in St. Louis. Rams had a chance to tie it on this game-ending play here, but Tony Banks, 4 Vikings converged on him, stopped them at the half-inch line. Minnesota holds on for the victory by 7. Back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
Back at Mile High Stadium, where Denver leads Dallas 7-0. Second time Dallas has had the ball. Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt rambling into Denver territory. Finally hit down by Neil Smith.
He got a good block from Everett McIver, his new right guard, that really sprung him. We watch here, we'll see McIver's a right guard. He's going to make a block right here that lets Emmitt Smith get that corner. But you see McIver right here, right there. He gets the thing, see, and then that shields it off, and now Emmitt Smith can get around to the outside.
Two tight ends set up, 1st and 10 Dallas. Pitch again back to Emmitt Smith. Larry Allen in front of him. And Emmitt got about 3 before Darian Gordon came up to make the stop.
Did you see what Steve Atwater did? Steve Atwater's been around this league for a long time, and he sees Larry Allen pulling. Now, Larry Allen, to me, is the best offensive lineman in football. He's also the strongest. He bench presses 600 pounds. But watch Atwater here. He sees Allen. He's not going to have any of that. The way you take on a big guy is at his lowest point. You get as close to his ankles as you can. That's what Steve Atwater did.
2nd and 8. Bjornsson moves in motion. Aikman back to throw it. Incomplete. Intended for Billy Davis or Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin.
And now here's the interesting situation. Again, we saw the first time the Cowboys had the ball. Now they're going to go into shotgun. It's 3rd down. There's Chan Gailey making the call. And this is where, watch this crowd the minute the Cowboys get up to the line of scrimmage.
And it's a big sellout crowd, very enthusiastic.
And that's why they have to go in a silent count.
2 tight end setup.
Clay Shiver will look between his legs to get the signal, then put his head up, then snap the ball.
Irvin went in motion up the middle, pass complete to Billy Davis. 1st down Cowboys.
Now you can see that it does help, and that was the thing. Even John Elway told us yesterday. He said, you know, Troy Aikman is going to like this because no matter what they give you, 1, you get a better chance to see it, and 2, you get a little more time to do something about it, and that's exactly what Troy Aikman did on that play to Billy Davis.
You see so much more, so much quicker.
And for all those years, the Cowboys hadn't run the shotgun, and if you remember back to the Cowboys in the shotgun with Roger Staubach.
Right, they didn't have to. That's Terrell Johnston hit right at the line of scrimmage. He got nothing.
Last night, Chan Gailey was telling us that Darrell Johnston's job is to be a 70% blocker, 20% pass receiver, and 10% running.
If that's true, that's going to be his only run today.
Yeah, he's not going to get a lot. Although at the end, he said he may see a little more running in this game than usual, but I don't know exactly why.
He has really made a remarkable recovery from a very serious neck injury, and you can see no effects from that. Here's Aikman. Deep. Open and touchdown to Ernie Mills. Perfect strike from Aikman to Mills.
That was the thing, and Ernie Mills was wide open all the way. And you're going to see that's a zone coverage. And again, the same thing happened. They don't get a bump early. Here's Ernie Mills here. We're going to get up. He's going to get by the front guy. See, because Darian Gordon doesn't get a bump there. He lets Mills run right by him, and then the safety can't get over. Eric Brown is a rookie safety. With a bump, he may have a chance to get over. Without a bump, Eric Brown had no chance to get over there to Ernie Mills in the end zone.
Bjornsson will hold for Richie Cunningham to try to tie it.
We're seeing 2 pretty good quarterbacks here so far, aren't we?
I'll say. Cunningham's extra point's good. It's 7-7. We're still in the first quarter. 70-yard drive by the Cowboys. Ties it up.
Let's watch the touchdown again. Here's Ernie Mills here. Darian Gordon doesn't get a bump. Eric Brown doesn't get over. And here goes Ernie Mills right up the sideline. You see there's no bump there in that cover 2. And you see Brown is held by the inside guy. But this is what makes it possible. These guys right here in the protection. The Broncos are coming up with a stunt. Boom, 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 boom. They pick up all 4 of them and let Troy Aikman step up and throw that ball to Ernie Mills.
Toby going to get off. Devon Hebron bounces over his head. Will go out of the end zone. Tomorrow on Milestone Monday, a secret diary exposes every dirty Melrose secret on the 200th episode of Melrose Place. Then it's the season premiere of the year's most talked about show, Ally McBeal. It all happens tomorrow at 8/7 Central here on Fox. It's all happened right here at Mile High right now, 7-7, the Broncos and the Cowboys.
Got 3.
McCaffrey comes left.
Here's Deion Sanders over on the other side, Pat. He usually stays on the right side, but they're playing a matchup today
With Rod Smith. Elway, time. Chase. Throws it away.
And maybe that's why. I don't know that the Broncos really expected that, because over the years, you haven't seen Deion Sanders line up on the left side. Here, he's going to go over and he's going to take Rod Smith. He has a man for man. Right there, Rod Smith did have a step on him, but John Elway didn't get it to him. John Elway wasn't ready to throw the ball when Rod Smith was open.
He was being chased by Kavika Pittman.
That's a pretty good matchup, though. Rod Smith, now, he started over here to this side, saw Deion Sanders here, and Rod Smith went over to the other side. It's a little easier on Kevin Smith. Now he's coming back in motion.
Too tight end, now Deion has him again. Davis dragged out of bounds by Kevin Smith. Picked up 5 or 6.
You know, over the years, the rules have been against Deion Sanders is you don't throw too much at him. In fact, John Elway was saying that Deion Sanders gives you a smaller window to throw in than any other corner. But if you're going to take any advantage of him, you do it by running at him and make him the force and support guy like the Broncos just did on that play.
Elway says if I throw it at Deion, it's either going to be my guy or no guy. I'm going to throw it where he can't get to it.
And you're not going to make a living throwing at Deion.
Elway back. Shannon Sharp, first down Denver.
Well, you kind of knew that had to be a pass because they weren't in the shotgun, but Terrell Davis was in the backfield, and then he went in motion. Now, once he went in motion, they had no one else behind John Elway. So if it was going to be a run, the only guy that could run that ball would have been John Elway, right? See, because you see, here's Terrell Davis out here, and he goes in motion. So now there's no one behind John Elway. So the defense, and everyone knows, it has to be a pass. But now you have to do something about it.
Well, Shannon Sharp knows where to go and how to get open. Smith goes in motion, and Sanders goes with it. Here's Elway. Davis. 15-10, touchdown. Terrell Davis. 63 yards.
Terrell Davis is the reason the Broncos are the Broncos and the reason the Broncos won the Super Bowl last year. He can not only run it inside, he can run it outside, and then when he gets a step, he can run away from everyone.
He can cut it back just as he just did. 6 consecutive games with a rushing touchdown.
You talk about things that excite these fans. Listen to them. They're still excited over Terrell Davis. You got to be able to run in this league and stop the run.
Extra point good. Watch him cut it back again.
Well, here he is right here. He's the only guy in the backfield who's going to start in here and then get to the outside. So he starts here. It's a counter. He starts to the right, and then he's going to go all the way back to outside left and then outrun everyone. That is something. That play was supposed to go to the right, and he took it down. A lot of times you will go to the right and then cut back to the left, but not all the way to the outside. There's Dexter Coakley trying to catch him. There's no way that's going to happen.
I don't see anybody gaining on him.
No. I think anytime a running back, sees it open, the only thing you see between you and the goal line is grass. I think they're all hard to catch.
Yep. They wouldn't be running backs if they weren't.
Yeah, I think if you say how did the Denver Broncos get to be world champions, and I think it was because of that guy, Terrell Davis, and that second half of that Super Bowl against the Green Bay Packers. After he had those migraine headaches, that was one of the great efforts that I've ever seen in football.
He never ran out of gas, did he?
No, he didn't. He, and he had to take medication. Remember, he had the migraines, and then he came back, and they gave a big dose of Terrell Davis that second half, and the Packers just couldn't stop him.
Taking on a little gas now.
He's something special.
Mathis out of the end zone, 5 yards deep. He's had 2 good returns. That one not quite so good. Brown makes the stop. Next week on Fox NFL Sunday, Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers head to Cincinnati, where Neil O'Donnell and the Bengals look to slow down the Pack. Plus other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, with the pregame show right here on Fox. Check your local listings. First down, Cowboys from the 16. Broncos leading 14-7. 4:24 left in the first quarter.
There's been a lot of offense in this first quarter, huh?
First quarter. Here's Emmitt Smith. Up to the 20.
You look at Emmitt Smith now, and I think that, somewhere along the way, I felt a year ago that he had lost a step somewhere. And I think that last year, Terrell Davis is what Emmitt Smith used to be when the Cowboys were winning their championships. And I know that Emmitt Smith still has a great deal of pride, and I still think he has a lot of football in him. But to see the other guy do that is going to put a little extra adrenaline in him.
Might inspire him a little bit. He's the deep back by himself. Here's Aikman. Nate Newton in front of him. Aikman deep. Billy Davis. It's incomplete. Ray Crockett. And right now, for an NFL update, let's return to James Brown at the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles.
And John, first touchdown of the game, Arizona-Seattle. It's Seattle's Willie Williams picking off Jake the Snake. Take a look at Williams as he heads to pay dirt. He goes up and over and over. Touchdown indeed, 28 yards, 10-0 Seattle over Arizona. Back to Pat and John.
Now watch Troy Aikman right here. After he throws the ball, he's going to take a shot right there from Neil Smith. Neil Smith could have really given him a shot, but with all due respect to Troy Aikman and to Neil Smith did pull off.
This is a Dallas timeout caused by the crowd, the noise. They couldn't get us straight.
And that's the situation we were talking about. It's kind of bad on first down. It's kind of bad on second down. It's terrible on third down. And I think even especially when you're trying to use a shotgun. I remember years ago when Bill Walsh was coaching the 49ers, he put in a shotgun for the first time, liked it at home, went on the road, played in Detroit. They couldn't hear. He never used the shotgun again. And then after that, Mike Holmgren never used a shotgun. None of his disciples, of course, other than Mike Shanahan, who had used the shotgun with Elway when he was here as an assistant coach with the Denver Broncos. Shanahan and Chan Gailey were both assistant coaches here under Dan Reeves at the same time.
At the same time, yeah.
So they do know each other.
Aikman comes up. Notifies the offensive line. Now they go 5 receivers as Emmitt Smith goes out. Broncos showing blitz. Pass goes up in the air, batted away. It was intended for Ernie Mills. The Broncos had it well covered.
That's one of the things that the Cowboys are doing today. They're using Emmitt Smith as the fifth wide receiver. You see here, Emmitt Smith is on this side. They have 4 wide receivers on that side, and then 1 on the other side. Here's Michael Irvin all by himself on the other side. So that's the empty backfield, or 5 receivers, with Emmitt Smith being one of the receivers.
Toby going back to punt. Gordon deep. It's a good pick. Oh, man. Gordon retreats to about the 23. He had 2 for touchdowns in 1 game last year. This is a good return. Knocked out of bounds at the Bronco 41 by Robert Thomas. Broncos 14, almost 15 yards per play.
Well, they had the big plays. They had the big touchdown pass to Shannon Sharp, and then of course they had that big run by Terrell Davis. That will give you average per play. The interesting thing that we have is 2 corners here, one on either side, that both play corner and are both punt returners. Darian Gordon said he's a better punt returner than Deion Sanders. He just returned one there, and he said, and I have the stats to prove it, and he does.
They both wear number 21. Here's Davis. And again he breaks out of the pack. He's gone. Forget it. Denver 20. 2 for Terrell Davis. Hennings is down.
Well, he showed you how he can take the ball inside and run outside, or he can take it outside and cut it back to the inside. That's exactly what he did. I mean, he cut right back and run by. It was poor tackling. There was no one there, but a great explosion by Terrell Davis.
Hennings got cut down by a double team, and he's still down.
Just watch. Here he is right there. There's Chad Hennings here. And you see the double team they start to chop. You see he's going to get chopped by Neal right there. And that's the thing that allows the cutback. That's where the cutback was, where Chad Hennings went down or was chopped. And again, we saw Terrell Davis take the ball inside, bounce it outside for a touchdown, then take it outside and cut it back to the inside for a touchdown.
Watch him take a little look backwards as he gets through.
I mean, you know, any great running back has great vision. And you can just see right here how he looks to the right, then he looks to the left to see if there's anything there. When he doesn't see where he's going to be in danger of getting hit there, then he just looks straight ahead, and the next thing he's going to meet the goal line.
He has 6 carries, 138 yards. That's a pretty good day.
Well, you know, we knew, and even Chan Gailey said that, you know, he didn't run much on Monday night. He said, but Denver's not going to go 2 games in a row without Terrell Davis having a big game.
This is his 7th 100-yard half. Here's Hennings getting up and being helped to the sideline.
Yeah, and that was a play that is a legal chop block as long as he's not engaged. Now, if Hennings were engaged with the guard, then the other guy chopped him. That would be illegal. If it's just a chop block, they can cut in that area. Why they can and only in there, I have no idea, but they can do it.
It appeared that he was engaged when he was cut.
Yeah, well, if he were engaged when he was cut, then that's illegal. That should have been a penalty.
Davis getting more oxygen as Elam prepares to kick the extra point. Which is good. It's 21-7. We're not through with the first quarter yet.
Yeah, this is either real great offense or poor defense, because we have really seen some explosion here. See, they're working on Chad Hennings' knee. Again, he was chopped. Now Chad Hennings is right in here, and we're going to see if he's engaged here. If the center is engaged with him here, he cannot be chopped. If he is off him, then he can be chopped.
Well, he's engaged.
Yeah, but I don't know that he was. Yeah, I guess he was. But that's what the rule is, that you can't, you know, be engaged and then come down and chop on him. And he was engaged, and then Dan Neal did come down there and chop on him, and that's how he got that left knee. But it also created a pretty good hole in there for Terrell Davis to run in.
So it's 21-7 as the Broncos Elam prepares to kick off. It's going to be Mathis again. And Kevin Mathis struggling, gets out to about the 27-yard line. Disappeared a couple of times and then bounced back into daylight.
For the Broncos, Derek Lavelle was down there, and Derek Lavelle hit him, and that's what made him disappear one time. Look at it. Terrell Davis is running here, 137 yards to the left. That's when he bounced outside, only one time for a yard in the middle, and he hasn't run to the right side. So where he's made all his yardage so far is the left side of that Bronco offense, or the right side of that Cowboy defense.
So it's first down, Dallas. Aikman up under center, Emmitt Smith the lone setback. And Emmitt gets the carry. Out to about the 32.
Dexter Coakley is still probably wondering about how in the heck Terrell Davis made that run against him, where he started inside to the right and then bounced it all the way outside to the left. And he's probably asking, was that a run to the left, or did he start inside?
Second and 7. Emmett Smith again. Hit down by John Mobley.
You know, the Broncos do an interesting thing with their defensive ends. If there's no tight end on their side, they let them stand up. And then their feet are closer to the line of scrimmage. Plus, if they're going to be in a zone blitz and drop off, they can. And that's exactly what Neil Smith did last time. Watch Neil Smith. He's a defensive end, but because he's on the weak side, he can stand up. See, he can fake a rush and then drop into coverage, even though that was a run.
Yep.
But see, here's Neil Smith now. He's getting down in a three-point stance.
3rd and 6. Aikman in the shotgun. Just to get it off. Aikman. Open is Bjornsson. Here's Bjornsson. Sprints into Denver territory, down to the Denver 37-yard line before he's tracked down by Mobley again.
Hey, Bjornsson is wide open on that play, but Troy Aikman did take a shot. Here you watch Bjornsson there. There's no one covering him. Now they run off the outside guy. And the closest guy to him is John Mobley, who as a linebacker has great speed. Watch the pressure here, Pat, on Troy Aikman, how he just gets that ball off as he's hit by Bill Romanowski.
Right.
Seems like every time Troy Aikman has thrown a pass today, other than that one touchdown pass, he's ended up on the ground.
He's just gotten it off. Clock running, less than a minute left in the first quarter. 21-7 Denver. Sherman Williams has replaced Emmett Smith, and this is Sherman Williams. Still running to the 14-yard line. Kanavasu knocked him out of bounds.
And this is one thing we said that you can do. Here's Sherman Williams right here. The one thing you can do against this Bronco defense is you can run the ball. They get a lead. They get a guard out in front, a good block, a couple of missed tackles, and Williams gets the ball down there in great field position for the Cowboys.
23-yard gain.
Bruce Johnston throws an air ball there and a couple of missed tackles, but we're either seeing great running or some poor run defense today.
2 tight ends set up. Pass caught by Michael Irvin down to about the 11. The Denver 11. Ray Crockett got him out of bounds.
And that's the thing that Ray Crockett has to do. There's nothing you can do about that short pass, but when they catch you got to tackle them.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Denver 21, Dallas 7. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Start of the second quarter, Chad Hennings. It looks like he's ready to come back into the game. And here is Emmitt Smith in the game. Emmitt Smith cut down at about the 9 by John Mobley.
You know, John Mobley, I remember, he's from Kutztown, remember, and he was a #1 draft choice. And remember, the first game I saw him play was a preseason game against the 49ers. And I thought he was one of the best linebackers I've ever seen in my life.
I remember that day. He did everything.
Yeah, he was all over the place. He reminds me a lot of a linebacker that used to play here by the name of Tom Jackson, who when I coached the Raiders, believe me, was our nemesis.
Aikman out of the shotgun. Flag on the play. Aikman looking as if he's going to take off. Fires into the end zone.
I think that was a free play for Aikman, Pat, because I think Neil Smith was offside.
Yep. Flag went down while Aikman started to run.
Now, see, and Troy Aikman knows enough that that he saw Neil Smith jump, so that's going to be a free play. So you might as well throw it in the end zone, because even if it's intercepted, you're going to get the ball back.
Offside, 90 defense, half the distance to the goal.
Bernie Kukar is the referee.
And you just see him right here. I mean, he jumps before anything else happens. Eric Williams is having a tough enough time with the count and with Neil Smith and with the shotgun and with jumping offside. Now here they bring their rookie in. You see Flozell Adams comes in here. He's going to be right here. He's the rookie #1 draft choice who comes in as a tight end, second tight end.
They need a yard for a first. Back to Emmitt Smith. Got to the goal line. Maybe he's in. Touchdown. Emmitt Smith
That's not a bad place to run. You get over there behind Larry Allen. Now you take Flozell Adams. He's 6'7", 330 pounds. You put him next to Larry Allen. You get a lead from Moose Johnston and run right at it. Here it is right here. Here's Adams. Here's Larry Allen. Here's Moose Johnston. Now that is a pretty powerful group coming right at you.
That's a
Watch
package.
It. They block down. They block down. They pull Nate around. Moose Johnston kicks out, makes a heck of a block on Atwater, and that's the thing that, you know, frees Emmitt Smith to go in the end zone.
Good job by Nate. He took Mobley out of the play. For the extra point, Cunningham. We might see a few points in this game. 21-14. We just begun the second quarter.
Gateway.
Mile High Stadium, the Mile High City of Denver. Chad Hennings wrenched his knee. It looked as if he might be ready to return, but now he's headed for the locker room. Toby Goen kicks off. Vaughn Hebron will return it, or down it, about 3 yards deep in the end zone. Emmitt Smith taking on a little oxygen.
I remember once, Pat, we were playing up here in Denver, and the offense came off like that, and I don't know why I did it, but I went over and I got the oxygen thing. I was taking oxygen because
you did?
Yeah, as a coach, you go over and you get a drink of it, and
Yep.
here in Denver they had oxygen, so I went over and I was taking an oxygen thing. And the offensive team who just scored a touchdown were lined up behind me, waiting to get to the oxygen tank.
Well, you were the coach.
No, but they kidded me about that for 5 years, taking their oxygen in Denver.
Here's Elway, chased by Pittman, incomplete.
You know, a lot of times they do that on that bootleg. They allowed a guy to come free, thinking that he's not going to come up the field and contain, that he's going to follow the tackle down. And when he does come up the field, then John Elway has to get rid of it quickly.
That's Artie Smith, who's taken Chad Hennings' place. As Chad, you saw, just heading for the locker room. Leon Letts also on the Dallas defensive line now. Smith in motion. Davis.
And there's Leon Lett making a play too. I mean, that's one thing that Leon Lett can do. His nickname is Big Cat, and on that one he looked like a big cat. I mean, he has a bad knee now, but you watch him here. He's just going to come here. You see him hit right here, break, crush through a double team,
Yep.
and come straight down the line and make that tackle. I mean, that's what you call splitting a double team.
3rd and 6. 4 wide receivers. Willie Green split wide to Elway's right. Out of the shotgun. Good protection. Rod Smith. Finally knocked out of bounds by George Teague, but he was wide open.
Boy, of all the guys on this team that you would say, let's not leave wide open, I would say Rod Smith would be the #1 guy. #2 guy would be Shannon Sharp. Here they get a bump. They're playing zone. The zone can't get over, and Elway is really eating them up in these zone coverages between the short guy and the deep guy, hitting that receiver in that area.
Leon led over on the sideline. Here's Davis again, and Davis around the corner. Davis got about 8.
Yeah, he's something special, isn't he? He played it. Remember, he played at Long Beach State for George Allen, and
Yep.
and then for an old player of mine, Willie Brown, and then they dropped football, and he ended up going to Georgia and wasn't a high round draft pick. And you think, how in the heck can you miss a guy like Terrell Davis?
Well, he was hurt a lot when he was at the University of Georgia, but they produced some great running backs.
Yeah, but I mean, you just think that somewhere someone would have said that this guy's so special that along the way, I mean, he's out of San Diego, Long Beach, Georgia. Maybe he got lost in that thing.
Derek LaVille has taken his place. That's LaVille. Former 49er gets the first down for the Broncos.
Remember Derek LaVille